Hi, and welcome to Italia's Pizza Kitchen. If you're watching this video, you've just purchased one of our doughs or one of our pizza kits. Today, I'm Michael O'Brien. I'm the owner of the company. We're going to start with our pizza dough, which came in your kit. It'll come in a bag just like this. Go ahead and cut it open. Take your dough out and lay it onto your rolling surface. You can use any flat surface. I'm using a hard cut piece of granite. So to start, we're going to put our dough down right here in the center. And what you want to do first is you want to just hit the top of the dough with your fist. And the purpose of this is to get the air bubbles out of the dough. And this is created when the dough is formed and the yeast inside starts rising. That's what creates the air pockets that you'll find in the dough. Once you've done that, go ahead and peel the dough away from the cutting board. As you'll see, I'm not using any flour. This dough has olive oil in it, so flour isn't necessary. If you find it easier to work with, great, but it's not required. You can see how easily that peeled away as I pulled it off of the stone. So we're going to go ahead and put this right back in the center of the stone. So we're going to start rolling our dough. We're going to start in the center and roll out to the sides. And we want to do this from many different directions so that we don't roll it all into one direction at the same time. This will help keep the dough in a circle and give you the best consistency, both in the thickness of the dough and the shape of the dough. So as I'm doing this, you can see as I kind of work my way around the edges, that also helps keep the shape of the dough. And the dough, what I've done with this dough, take your dough out of the refrigerator about 30 minutes before you're ready to use it. This will actually, and leave it on the counter at room temperature and leave it inside of the plastic bag. This will help bring the temperature of the dough up, and it makes it more pliable and easier to work with. So you can see this thing spreading out fairly quickly. Now if you roll it beyond 12 inches, not a problem, because as you lift this up and you put it onto your pizza screen or your pizza pan, it's going to shrink up again anyway, so we're going to form it once we put it onto our cooking surface. So I think I've got this out far enough. That's about 12 inches right there. So what I like to use is what's called a pizza screen. And this is a pizza screen right here. What this is, it's like a pizza pan or a cookie sheet, but it has holes in the bottom. And what's nice about this is when you see the edges of a cooked pizza, they get nice and golden brown. That's from the heat hitting the dough directly. With a pizza screen, you're going to get that same effect on the bottom of the dough because the air is able to hit the dough directly through the holes on the screen. What you want to do is you're going to take your screen or your pan, whichever you use, and you want to make sure that you spray it with olive oil. Well, any cooking spray is fine. I just happen to use olive oil. And if you don't have spray, you can use a brush and oil, and just make sure you brush your screen well with oil. So I'm going to get this one ready, and I'm going to spray the screen. And this is just going to help release the pizza from the screen once it's done and it's cooked. So you want to slowly peel the dough away from the stone. You don't have to pull it hard, just take your time. And as I said earlier, you'll see it'll kind of shrink up as you're pulling it up. That's fine. You've already rolled the dough out, it's pliable, and you're going to be able to stretch it into the exact shape you want once you transfer it over to your cooking surface. So, I'm almost released here. So I'm just going to go ahead and reach under the dough and transfer it over this way. And I'm just going to lay it right here and onto the screen. And I'm going to put the screen back on my cutting board. You can see it doesn't have its perfect shape right now. So what we're going to do is we just take our hands and we reach under the dough and just pull it out. You basically just stretch the dough back out to the shape of your screen or your pan. And once you pull it and lay it down, it's going to stick to the pan and it's not going to stretch back into the center. So I like to get it right out to the very edge and use as much of the screen as I can, because the wider it is, the bigger your pizza is going to be. Okay, so there we go. So I have brought this dough literally out right to the very edge of the screen. So you can see it's just like that. So the next step is to put our sauce on. So you're going to pour that sauce right into the middle of the pizza, just like that. Okay? Next, so you're going to start in the center, and you're going to use a circular motion, and you're going to spread your sauce out to the sides. okay? And as you can see, if you stay in that circular motion, it keeps it nice and even and brings it right out to the edges just how you want it. So I would go just to about a 1/2 inch of crust on the edges. Next step, of course, is the cheese. Now, if you plan on using fresh herbs on your pizza, like basil, chopped basil or something like that, I would recommend that you put it on at this stage because the heat of the oven tends to dry it up and burn fresh herbs. So this would be the perfect time to put on those ingredients. You can, once you've got all the cheese on, you can still spread it out to make sure that you get a consistent coverage all the way around the pizza. Don't worry about anything going on the edges. We can scoop that up and put it on the pizza once we're done. And the cheese we use is diced rather than shredded, which when it melts gives it a better spread on a pizza. Last step is, of course, the toppings. Whatever toppings you want to put on here, put on. I happen to be a meat lovers person, so I usually will throw salami, meatballs, Italian sausages, that kind of stuff on there. And I also like to throw onions and bell peppers. But any ingredient you want. If you want to saute up some spinach, asparagus, be creative. Whatever you want to put on this pizza. We've got our dough rolled out to 12 inches. We've got our sauce put on the pizza. We spread it out to within a 1/2 inch of the edges, and we've put our cheese on top. So that's it's that simple, very easy. I hope you enjoy the pizza you purchased today. And as soon as you've had a pizza, I'm pretty sure you'll be back to try one of our kits again. Have a great day, and we look forward to seeing you again. Take care.